Welcome back to Changing Latitudes. On this episode, we're really kind of going back in time to look at how we originally came onto the property and had to do some serious cleanup. We had to go through and remove all the foliage and trees and everything that was in the way to, basically blocking the beauty of the property. So we wanted to clean that up. In addition to that, there were several, as the real estate agent would say, several outbuildings that we frankly, they were either in disrepair or, in the way of line of sight to the view that we wanted to have. So we had to take those down as well. So this episode is really just going through and cleaning up things and the different steps we took to get it done. The first step was to take down this building. It had been around on the property since the early 70s, and my understanding, folks that actually lived in it. If it was located in a different place on the property, may have kept some sort of portion of it, and it would have been, something we could have used. But where it was located was just simply not where we wanted it to be. So did not want to have that, and as a result, going to go through a couple steps to take it down, and it ended up being a little bit of a process. It's funny going back and watching these videos and seeing the effort that was put into taking down this building. I mean, if I was to do it all over again, I might just light a match to it and get it going. But we actually harvested quite a bit of very quality wood out of here, Doug fir that was called inch to maybe even an inch and a half thick in some places, and boards as wide as 16 inches wide. So some very good stuff that we'll use for a further project to the wood shop. And so the effort was not without its rewards, but there was quite a bit here. There was several runs to the dump, several breaking up moments, and some real nasty material that was just sopping wet from the weather. So had to work through it and eventually, throw it on the flame. Coming to this property just led to just a ton of firsts. Here we're using a wood chipper, never have used it before, went out and bought one. Thought that we would use it more. We haven't really done so. We've done more burning, as you can imagine. We did, put some bark in the planters, but really this wood was not the appropriate wood to use for it. But, you have a toy and you go to work and you try to use it, and so we did grind up quite a bit here. It was just pretty tedious, too many small branches and things of that nature, but hey, we did it. Well, it goes without saying, when you live in rural America, when, say 1/3 of the property is wooded, chainsaw becomes your best friend. You can honestly say at this point, I was only within a day or two of, really using a chainsaw ever in my life. So you're still a little bit uncertain, particularly when, branches have a lot of tension on them and things of that nature. But it's become my friend, and it's one that I respect. You have to respect the chainsaw, but it's one that I've come to use quite a bit. And so here, we're just trimming up the trees and getting them broken into pieces. Some portion of which we are now just today splitting into wood for our stove out in the shop, and other pieces of it just were grinded up and mulched into the ground. Well, after a couple of days of effort and a couple seasons passed, because of course you can't burn in particular parts of the year, we had about a half dozen to 8 slash piles to burn down and reduce. Something that the family has never done before, living in Southern California suburbia. You don't burn trash or burn your yard waste. So it was a brand new experience, and it sounds simple. You go out, dry wood, light it aflame, but it's a growing process, and have gotten pretty good with it over the last several years. But this day was a lot of, in fact, probably the most we've ever burned at once. And went through and hit up all the 6 to 8 piles, and then coup de grace with burning up the remaining parts of the outbuildings.